Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to talk about object destructuring in JavaScript. So object destructuring used to extract properties from one object and which enhances the readability of the code. So let's see how we can do that. So suppose we have one person object with the name and age property. Now to access those properties we had to do person.name and person.age, but we can directly access those properties with the help of object destructuring. So to do object destructuring we have to use the curly braces, and inside that we can extract the name and age property from the person object. So here basically we are extracting the name and the age property from the person object, and here is the syntax. So first of all, inside the curly braces we have the properties of that object, and then after the equal sign we have the object itself. And now we can directly print the name and age property, and you can see here is the output. So here we don't have to use person.name or person.age to access those properties. We can directly use them because we have destructured those properties. And here is one thing you have to remember: these names must match with the property of that object, then only we can access those property values. Otherwise, if we pass some random variable name and then try to print that, so you can see we are getting the value as undefined because X property is not there in the person object. And also there can be situations we don't want to use the property name because they are too long, or we want some other names that is meaningful. So in that case we can use some alias name for those properties. So for this we have to use one colon, and then we can write the alias name instead of this property. And also we can do this for the age also. So here instead of name we can use nm, and instead of age we can use ag in our code. So we have to do nm and ag, and you can see we have the same output. So here we are just basically using the variable name of our choice instead of using the property names. And also we can assign default values to those variables. So there can be situations where this person object can be empty, so in that case all of these variables will be undefined. So this can create a lot of problem. So to fix that we can assign some default value to those variables. So we can use the equal sign, and then we can assign some default value, and also we can assign some default age of 18. So now you can see we are having this output because the object is empty, so all of these property does not exist, so by default their value is undefined. But we are using this default assignment, so whenever this property does not exist, in that case the variables will have the default value, and that's where we can see here. So this way we can handle the undefined values. And also suppose we are getting the null instead of object, in that case we are gonna get error because our code is not prepared to handle this null value. So to prevent this error we can use the fallback. So all we have to do is we have to do the or operator, and then after that we can use the empty object. So here we are just using this fallback system where whenever the object is null for any reason, in that case we are going to use this fallback empty object. So this way we will not get any error and our program will not crash. So here we are just using one simple object, but in real the object can be nested. So suppose we have this nested property contact with the email property and the phone number property. And now let's see how we can destructure this nested object. So to destructure this nested object, we have to do is we have to use the, first of all, this is the first level of destructuring. From here we can extract the name and age, and now we have to get inside the second level. So in the second level we can extract from the contact. So inside the second level we are going to extract the email and the phone number, and we are extracting all of that from the person object. And now we can just console log the name, the age, the email and the phone number, and you can see we have output. So here first of all we are using these curly braces and we are getting the property of the first level. So we are getting the property of name and age, and then we are getting one step deeper. So for that we are using one second pair of curly braces, and from the second object we are extracting the email and phone properties. And also we can destructure the properties in a function directly. So suppose we have one function print which takes one object person, and then it just console log person.name and person.age, and we can just call this function with the person object. So here you can see we have this output. So here inside the function we are accessing the person object properties by using person.name and person.age. So we can simplify this by using the destructuring directly inside the function arguments. So all we have to do is we have to use the pair of curly braces, and then we can destructure the name and age, and we can then directly print the name and age. So this is the way we can destructure the object in our JavaScript, and we can make the code much more readable. So hope you understand the concept. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.